right. To start this morning, order considering the claim of Debbie Cox for damages to her vehicle alleged to have occurred as a result of county mowing on County Farm Road near the intersection of Highway 15.
Motion.
Second?
To consider it?
Yes, to consider. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Cox. Thank you for coming back again. If you'd like to come join us up here. I know that we considered this before and then we tabled it. We asked our road manager, Raymond. Oh, it'd be you. Sorry, we have so many. It'd be Bobby. Okay. You want to just give us just quickly what happened?
We were coming through County Farm, headed to 53, I think you said, yeah, going north. And we were headed to Wiggins because we had to get to the Ford place at a certain time. And there was no traffic behind us, in front of us. We were by ourselves. We passed a patrolman that was sitting at the soccer field at the beginning of it. He was just sitting there in his vehicle. And then, I don't know if it was one of your sheriffs or whatever, but anyway, one of those cars sitting there, and then the guy on the mower was right in front of. He was directly in front of our vehicle when we passed, and then something hit the truck, and I said, "Oh my gosh, it was a hard hit." And I said, "I need to stop." And Glenn said, "We got to get to the Ford place. Let's look at it when we get there." He said, "Surely, it'll be okay." And sure enough, it wasn't okay when we got there and I looked at it. And but I mean, it was directly behind the door on the side of the fender. Came directly from the lawnmower where we were past. There was another lawnmower on up there, but this lawnmower was right there at it when it hit. There was no other vehicles, nothing else moving around us, except for that mower and when it hit. And it made a good dent in the truck. Like I said, I think it was more than a can, just an aluminum can. It was something metal, because it made a big area like this on our truck. You should have pictures of it.
Yes.
And I just need to get it fixed. We didn't do it. I don't think we need to pay for it. And I just want to get it fixed. It's been long enough now.
Raymond is the only one we knew at the county, so we immediately called him.
Yeah, as soon as I stopped.
And he checked, he said, "Well, that's gotta be Parks and Recreation, but here's what you do. You go down, fill out a form." We did, and the lady said, "Go get 2 estimates, go have pictures taken." We did, and they put us on the agenda, and then we came to you guys.
It's been about a month ago now and got the work
Yeah,
done.
we kept waiting, nobody called us, so we went down to the courthouse, and this, we're back.
Right.
Can we hear from Bobby? Were the signs out, or, I'm sorry,
Yeah, what
I
is
can't
this?
open my,
No signs, wow.
Kaylin. She's having trouble opening her computer, Kaylin. Bobby,
Yes.
were the signs out?
No, we did not have any signs out, Parks and Rec did. I got the statements from my guys. Ms. Cox called me,
Yeah.
took her number down, said, "Let me call you back." She said it happened about 2 o'clock. So I said, okay. So I went, first thing I did was go to GPS to see if I had people there. I did have people there cutting grass that day. They left at 1:38.
Okay.
Is when they left, actually pulled out of the parking lot on the truck. So I called her back and said, "I don't think it was me, it could be," and I gave a couple other names, and then I referred it to Pam.
You didn't
But
have
if she
2
said
mowers
around-
there, the second-
I did have 2
The
mowers.
second mower was a red one or orange one, something like that?
All my mowers are green.
Green.
Every mower I have is a John Deere, green. And I did have 2 guys there cutting grass that day. I don't argue
Excuse me,
that.
let's not talk to each other.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just talk to
You're right.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did have 2 people there that day, but when she said 2 o'clock and I looked at the GPS, I called her back and said, "I might be so-and-so and so-and-so."
If
It
she
wasn't right
says
on
about 2
2 o'clock, it was
o'clock,
around
1:30 is
Yeah.
I
to
can't,
make
my
these.
guy said they didn't do it, I wasn't there, so that's all I can say.
Tim, since we did not have signs out and they saw it and they were there, and it sounds like it was trash, we're having a lot of problem. It's not just rocks that are thrown, it's debris.
The board has to adjudicate that the county was somehow negligent. I mean, that's my concern is whether or not there's been, you have guards on the mowers.
Yes, sir.
The lack of signs just gives a warning to the traveling public that you may pass by a mower. And by doing that, you assume the risk, because mowers do what mowers up to the board to determine whether or not the absence of sign caused or contributed to the rock hitting their vehicle. That's really the question. And was the county negligent in somehow doing so? And I don't know what you do about to prevent mowers from throwing something that somebody's thrown out on the ground.
If I'd have seen a sign or the mower, but I didn't see nothing until it hit, and then I turned and looked, and he was facing right at me, you know, and he wasn't from here to the, a little bit beyond that wall probably from me when I turned and looked at him.
Explain the liability issue, because, you know, that's what we're in a conundrum, it seems like here, because we got all kind of people, and they need to understand about the county's liability as far as the statute or law requires.
County-
So please explain it to
Start
them,
with the
because that's
basic-
where we have a problem.
Basic premise is the county is immune from liability. Okay, they cannot be liable. If the county is immune from liability, unless there's a statute that allows the county to make the claim, which I'll discuss in a second. Generally, the county is immune from liability, and the board has no authority to pay a claim from which the county is immune, meaning they're prohibited from doing it, because the legislature says that. Legislature passed a law called the Mississippi Tort Claims Act. That Tort Claim Act lifts immunity to a limited extent up to $500,000. So the county is immune from liability, it's less the claim falls within the Tort Claim Act. In order for the county to be liable for a claim, a property damage claim, there must be evidence that there was some negligence on the part of the county that's not exempt. There are exemptions to liability under the statute. I don't think any of the exemptions apply here, so that's not an issue. So the question is whether or not there's evidence of negligence on behalf of the county employee. Typically, what the board has looked at before is the mower didn't have the proper guards in place. Okay? He said all the guards were in place. We also have always looked at signs. We put out signs to warn the traveling public that there are mowers mowing. Usually this has to do with mowing right of way, which has to be mowed time to time. And so if you see the sign say mowers ahead and you proceed on, you're assuming the risk that a road hazard, that is a rock gets thrown and may damage your vehicle. So if the signs were up, that would have warned you. If you knew the mowers were there, you still assume the risk. In other words, you know the mower's there, you drive by the mower, you assume that there may be something thrown from the mower. My windshield was just a month ago. So the question is first, and you're welcome to speak to this, is how or what evidence you have that the county employee was negligent, which caused damage to your truck. That's really the question. If there is no evidence of negligence, then the county's immune and the board has no authority to pay it at all. They don't have a choice in that matter. So if
Well, we did not have the signs up. They
that's-
didn't see it till it happened. I don't think they were aware of it.
if the
I
board-
know we say we have guards, but Raymond, my road manager, has said, unfortunately, with debris and litter, it is a constant. We have to take a major stand on what we're going to
I
do.
agree.
Do we mow in the middle of the night? Do we have a blinky truck behind them? Something's got to change.
That's why you have signs to warn people that there may be a hazard. The signs weren't there. If this board adjudicates that the absence of the sign was negligence, then the claim could be paid. That's basically the law. If the board adjudicates, we've had multiple instances where somebody drove through a pile of rock, drove out off the grass and went into a driveway, if you remember, and slung rocks everywhere. That would be negligence, and the board adjudicated that, paid that claim. If the board determines that the absence of signs here did not give them the notice that they got, then the claim could be paid. Has the truck been repaired?
No,
No,
What
we're
kind
waiting
of
on
money
you
we
guys.
talking about?
$1,300.
You know, when I cut grass, I check and be sure there's no large objects or something that'll damage my mower before I cut my grass, and obviously, if this wasn't checked, or it wouldn't have slung in the side of it.
That would be impossible for the county to check all the
All of
roadways.
it, I understand
They can't
that.
get on and off
there's so
track.
much litter everywhere you go.
That-
I don't
Yeah.
understand it.
Whatever it was pretty large object, because it put 2 dents in. And, you know, it's a F-250 with aluminum. It take a lot to be in aluminum, but it hit, bam. So,
My
Yeah, There's
question
no
is,
way they can check.
but my question is, was it the road department or was it Parks and Recs?
Parks
Do we
and
know?
Parks.
Well,
He just said his guy said they didn't do it.
so they were gone at 138. Was the road parked there too?
No.
But I mean, obviously,
Obviously,
the mowers
yeah.
are
We
there.
wouldn't make it
It
up.
said approximately 2 PM, I mean, 21 minutes.
I don't doubt them that the mower was there, so that's,
And no signs.
and no sign. So this board adjudicates that as being negligence, the claim can be paid.
Sounds like it to me.
Yeah, do we have a motion?
I'll make it.
Thank you, do we have a second?
Now, could we make one recommendation that the payment should be made when the vehicle's repaired?
Yes,
Absolutely.
but we still need them to get 2 quotes.
We already got
They
them.
did.
I already got the estimates, I'll go get it, and
And
I'll
it won't
pay
pay
for it
for
out
your
front if you'll
taxes.
reimburse me.
I'm sorry, but it will not pay for your taxes.
No.
Right,
The county
you
will-
can make it out of Turin Foley or whatever.
If you will
because
get
that's
it
your-
repaired
We
and
just
have
need
them
the invoice.
bill the county,
Okay.
you take the order that's gonna be entered allowing the claim
Mhm.
and tell them to bill the county, that way the county doesn't pay sales tax, but saves both of us
Right.
sales tax. On
Okay.
that, so, that, if the board's gonna vote.
Right, we still have to vote. So we have a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
So the mo-
Any
the board
motion?
adjudicates that the county was negligent and that the claim should be paid and will be paid upon presentation of the final bill to the
And the
county.
negligence is lack of the sign.
Signs.
Lack of signs.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Okay, all right, so we just bring it to your,
If you will, I tell you what, I have an email address that's on the county's website. If you go to Harrison County Online, look at the board attorney,
Let's just give it
just
to you.
email it to me. and
Okay.
we'll- If you don't hear back from me, I missed it, just remind me and
All
we'll
right.
get it.
Do you have a card or something with
I
you?
don't think I have one on.
Tricia, if you
Let
might.
me see, I might.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. We're gonna go to number 2 now.
appreciate you.
Madam President,
Yes,
I'd like to posit at this time that the county employees need to recognize that if they put that sign out, the board is considering that negligent and thus making us liable. So I would recommend that
Thank you.
make sure that the employees, road department, anybody else cutting grass, make sure those signs are out.
absolutely. Okay. All right, is Mr. Toller here? Oh, there you are. Order taking off the table auto claim of Ronnie Toller for rock damage to vehicle. Do we have a motion to take it off the table?
Motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, now we're considering your claim, Ronnie Toller, for rock damage to your vehicle. Now, this is a doozy. This is $14,000.
And this claim is a little bit different here, as Neil discussed last time, if I can help the board. This is apparently where the driver drove through a pile, looked like he drove through.
Ran off the road, and I think, if I may,
Yes.
Raymond, did you bring the driver?
I got the superintendent, well, I was out of town, but when I went back and looked at it, and what had happened, the car was on the back of the bush hog. We had signs out, but when you cutting on the slope, when you go down in a ditch, that bush hog, that left side comes up. And that's where evidently the rocks come out from underneath the left side of the bush hog to hit Mr. Toller's truck.
It looked like he also caught the gravel.
Well, that's what it did, yeah. When he went through there, it caught that with the bush hog, because it was on that lean, and it shot the rocks out from underneath it. Is what it told me.
The concern I have with this claim is not the facts, because it appears to me that there would be negligence on the county, part of the county. The claim here is the estimate, and I did, Mr. Warren was out of town, the board was gonna get him to look at it. I think the board ought to approve it subject to looking at the claim, and whether or not it's 14, have somebody else look at, determine what the damage to the vehicle is.
Yeah, and there's only one quote.
There's only one quote, it's
There's
14.
There's 2 quotes.
But, and again, the vehicle will have to be repaired before the county will pay for repairs, so I would, maybe we could table it and let Mr. Warren go out and look at it, let him make a recommendation to the board. I apologize, but he was out of town when the board meeting was through.
And Neil, if you could send me both quotes, because I only have one.
We only have caliber collision.
Okay.
I
Who
wanna
else
see
did you
one,
get a
too,
quote
but
from?
I thought they were-
Shane Lester's.
Okay, all we have is caliber. So we need
I'll
that.
probably see.
Just one other,
Sorry, I'm looking at you.
one other clarification, President, I'd like to
Yes.
ask. Raymond, did this incident occur while he was crossing a driveway
He
in which
approached,
he hit gravel, or was he cutting the side of the road and there happened to be gravel there? Because if he laid the bush hog down on gravel crossing a driveway, that's uncalled for. That's obvious that it's gonna be cut. But if he were cutting grass on the side of the road and there happened to be rocks there, that's different.
that's it, Mr.
I-
Wall. What
I-
happened,
that-
he
that's
went over
good.
the driveway where I saw him.
I'm sorry?
When he went across, there was a driveway, but when he went in, where the indention was, the tractor went off the edge of the road.
So was it gravel from a driveway he hit?
No,
Oh, okay.
it came off the side of the shoulder of the road, and when the bush hog hit, the
Yes,
bush
we
hog
know.
was at a tilt, and it shot the stuff out from
I just
underneath.
wanted to make sure it wasn't a driveway,
That's
because if anybody done a bush hog going across a driveway, that bush hog should be stopped and or raised.
It moved up, picked
It's
up.
obvious if you're going in rocks on a driveway, it's gonna kill it.
You know,
Timmy?
Mr. Ladner,
Yeah.
there's a big misconception with cutting grass. If you was on flat ground all the time, you'd never have. an
Never
issue.
have a problem.
If you're in ditches, you're gonna sling stuff. It's gonna happen, it's hazardous. You can't not do it. If you was on a perfect world, they'd cut flat all the time, never tear anything up.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you're taking a chance. You gotta give the traffic public the opportunity to say, I don't wanna take that chance, that's the purpose of the signs. It's gonna happen, I don't think you can prevent it from
I've seen
happening.
all that.
But you got
It's
that.
just whether or not there's
It was just
a
a
washed out
car
area.
coming by when it happens, or it's not, it's just, unfortunately, in this case, it's $14,000 in damage, because I've seen the car was perfectly blocked.
all down the side.
How much was the other quote?
I don't know, I just,
15?
But again, just like the case before you, the truck has to be repaired before the county's going.
not an issue. I mean, like I said, I don't mind the county saving county taxpayers money. I just, I was not at fault. It was not due to my negligence. They said there were signs out. I never saw a sign. There was a couple tractors on the road, and this one left the road as I passed by.
I think there were pictures. of
Signs
the
were
sign.
out.
Were the signs were out? Okay.
There were pictures.
Well, like I said, I didn't notice the signs,
And most people don't, unfortunately, they don't pay
Nobody
attention.
knows.
We're getting into, the board needs to understand, we're getting into a situation, we're paying off something, we're not paying off something. That's not good. Either-
Based on facts.
That's why I wanted to know if there was any negligence. The guy driving the tractor on the side of the road and the thing tilts, that's not negligence, that's obvious it's gonna happen.
That's where the warning will come in.
That's where the warning comes in, and we're getting it, I'm just telling you, we're fixing to get into a problem, and we need some consistency.
Neil, I did not see one picture that's showing the signs out. Did you not take any pictures?
That's what I'm
of
looking
it?
for.
That's also,
You got testimony from them that there is
They got
better.
the
Yeah, I
That there
got
were
that. I'm
signs
just
out.
wondering why he didn't.
That's the first thing to make sure with that.
That should have been the first thing to take pictures of.
Correct.
that's
The
all.
signs are out, but I'm not seeing it. I mean, I'm taking your word for it, Raymond.
Well, what we'll do, Mr. Beverly, on Mr. Rebecca, we'll try to get a schedule with Neil too, because maybe that would help, and we're going, on the days that he's working, we'll cut the highly trafficked roads, and let Neil be behind with the blue light.
That'd be
Because
good.
people go so fast to their stuff, and they don't see the signs, but maybe they'll see that blue lights and then slow them down and give them, keep them having a problem.
Yeah, Raymond and I spoke about an hour yesterday, and that was the thing. If we have blue lights, if we do the high traffic roads at a low traffic time, if we do detours on small roads, because something really major has to be changed, or it's gonna continue to happen. So,
What is the recommendation of the attorney that we approve based on what review?
Yeah, let's let Walt will come out and look at the vehicle, let's let him make a recommendation as to what the damage to the vehicle. Let me say this, because the law is that you really are supposed to look at the value of the vehicle before the accident and the value of the vehicle after the accident. That's the measure of damages. We use the repair value often in the law because it's easy. I mean, if it's actually repaired, you've now got the value, although you can take a vehicle that may be worth $5,000, you don't want to spend $10,000 fixing it.
No.
So that's why you use the varying things.
Basically,
So
what it's
here-
telling you is the cost of the repair is not determined by the value of the car.
Right, this
The
truck's
value
probably
of the car
worth more
could
than
be very
14.
little and the cost could be very high.
I mean, it's probably worth more than $14,000, I'm guessing.
I would hope. I mean,
It's
it's
a,
2020, Larry,
2020,
15,000 miles on it.
so I don't have a doubt about that, but you just literally, the only way the board can make that judgment is to have somebody independently
Is
tell
Walt
us.
back in town? Because I remember we.
He came back, about midweek, and I was out, and I didn't get a chance to send it to him.
Well, I'll be in favor of tabling until we get a report from
We'll
Walt.
get Walt,
which is kind of
Walt
what
on
it is.
the Associated Adjusters.
That's
He'll
fine.
Sorry for dragging
look
it.
at it.
Like I said, I'm not trying to get over on anybody.
No,
What my
we-
truck
No,
is,
we
that's
just
the way
need
it
to make
was.
sure we're liable for a lot of taxpayers' money.
Right.
We wanna be good stewards.
But like, I understand that, but like I said before, if, he's saying that the signs have to be out, and I agree with that. I also think that if someone is driving a tractor with a rotary cutter on the back, on the public road, that before he leaves the road, the piece of equipment should be up and it should not be engaged when he leaves the road. That would solve all of this. Because if he would have had that piece of equipment raised and the PTO was not engaged, he would not have slung anything. He would have just rolled off the road, we would have passed by and everybody lives.
There's no way you could cut roads to doing that.
You can't turn on a
Well,
PTO?
how you gonna go down the road with traffic behind you and it's a bad situation? I mean, when you're on a public road, you can't just stop in the middle of the road and turn your bush hog back and forth on.
Well, I'm just saying, don't turn the bush hog on until.
Okay, don't speak
you're
to
off
each
road.
other,
I'm
y'all.
sorry.
Excuse me. All right, so this is the thing. Raymond also confided in or told me that their lives are in danger when they are mowing, like that you feel very, very scared. People are going 50, 60 miles an hour.
Dangerous.
It's extremely dangerous, so that's number one, more than paying claims. So after we go through these, I would like us to really discuss what we're going to do.
Yeah, let's try to.
Our
Yeah.
safety officers.
I sent, I don't know if all y'all got it, I sent it to you, Miss Rebecca,
Yeah,
on that flail cutter,
right.
it's hydraulic, that fits on the back. And I don't know if you watched the whole video, but it slides over to the side and it'll tilt down in the ditch where the tractor hasn't tilted, so you would have to worry about the tractor turning over either. Raymond, have y'all
I
ever
see
used a flail
scopes.
cutter?
We have.
Yeah, but you can't,
Okay, don't talk to each other, please, and we will,
have
we'll
to.
discuss that after this. Let's finish this. So we're going to,
So
we have
I
a
move
motion to table.
And have Walt go out there
Well,
and
we,
look at this.
well, we make,
Like we
yeah,
did
we
last
get
time.
Walt, my fault, well, he was out of town, but then it was my fault not following up on it. Why don't the board, if we're gonna adjudicate it as being a claim that's gonna be paid, go ahead and adjudicate subject to
Subject
determining the
to.
damages. That way, Mr.
Well, I
Toller
can
won't
do
have to
that
come
now.
back.
I'll make that
He
motion.
won't have to come back unless he wants to, I don't mean to.
To
I mean-
adjudicate subject to the
Walt.
amount that Walt gives us. And subject to, I still would like to see the other.
Subject to getting it
Well,
repaired
she
also.
has it, we just wasn't posted. All right, so we have a motion to adjudicate based on a second quote, and Walt looking at it. Do we have a second?
And Walt
Right.
determination.
Walt looking at it. Do we have a second? Any further discussion?
Discussion. The bottom line is, we still, have we determined whether we were liable, whether that driver on that tractor did something that would impose a liability on the county? If he's out there cutting grass, see, this is why I'm
Randy
telling
said
y'all,
they ran into that
Uh,
issue off the side
that's
of
the
the road.
determination. I don't have a problem with Walt looking at it if we are liable.
You don't think that's
But-
liable?
That's what we have to determine as a board.
Marlon, did you see this? This is the picture to me that is the most telling. You see where it actually scratches the road? See where it digs into the side? It
That's not
actually-
necessarily
that's the blade-
liability though.
But that's the
That's-
blade running on the road.
But that's not, that's what I'm saying, those things happen, whether we're liable or not. That was, the road didn't hit it, it was gravel. And, I'm just trying to determine what we're doing, whether we're liable or not. That's the issue.
If you want my comment on it, there are two things that I saw, was one where it looked like it engaged a pile of rocks and slung them up across the road, into the road. That's something that if you ran over a pile of rocks, it's mowing grass,
Could he see it? Could the driver see it?
it
The
looked
driver
like.
can't. The
I'm
driver
not a
can't see it.
lawnmower driver.
I understand that, Tim, and it's
Yeah,
not a
come on.
simple, it's not a simple solution.
I
I'm just
agree with
trying
you.
to determine, we seem to go to some,
got it.
we approve some, and we using signs as a criteria.
No, I agree, I'm
That's
just,
what we seen it. You see where he's standing in the ditch? All right,
Picture of what-
that's the picture you're looking at, that's it right there. You see where he's at over in the ditch? That tractor was, you had to be way down in there when it went down in that ditch to cut. Yeah, the blade hit there, but look at the angle of the, you
I
can see.
understand, I just think it's not so much.
Raymond, what do you recommend?
Uh,
I mean, at the end of the day, do you feel like your guys are liable or
I
not?
mean, they did what they got there doing their job. They did hit the rocks came out from under the bush hog and hit the truck. The only thing I know different that we're gonna do, and that's gonna be Neil involved, we've got to slow people down and make people stop to where you see that. Now, you're gonna have a problem in your phones to be burning because these people don't wanna stop.
Yep.
They don't see signs, they don't see lights, they don't see anything. And I got workers out there that somebody runs into that tractor and kills somebody. We done went from 14,000 to a lot more expense plus their lives. So people just need to slow down. You can see how narrow the road is there.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Toll was going this way on the road. I've even looked at trying to change up and throw the stuff the other direction, cut slots in the bush hogs. But then you're gonna be throwing it out in somebody's yard. So there's somebody out in their yard, then it's gonna kill a kid out there or somebody.
Right.
So you kind of limited to what we can do to do our job. You know, it's like Mr. Marlon's saying, we go out there every day to try to work and do what we can. Do incidents happen? Sure they do. But you can only do the best you can. You put your signs out. If Neil gets, and we get Neil on these highly trafficked roads with the blue lights, maybe that's gonna help us. But we
And then
got,
the video, would you send him the video and Timmy and see if they like that mechanism?
Yeah, well, that's what I was asking, I don't know if they ever have one of those.
frail more, see, that's the same, he's still going out, anything that's hidden, it'll do the same thing, it's gonna throw the stuff out. It's gotta exhaust somewhere, and when the stuff comes out from under a bush hog or frail, I've got one that throws it, I try to get it to work, but throw it the other direction. But you can't do that, it won't go counterclockwise.
It doesn't have a catch system?
We can catch on it, to try to do it, but it's still, it's just a bad
The
situation.
one that I sent you is a rotary cutter, it doesn't throw anything out to the side. It has a roller in the
It
back where
mulches.
it goes, yeah.
Well, you
That's
need
assuming that's
to-
the
It's a
tractor
roadway,
never
that's pretty hard to
This
do.
is a roadway, not a lawn.
Exactly.
Neil saying was
It
probably
shows it
work
on
if
the,
it-
did you get the video I sent you?
They,
I sent it to you.
parallel.
It shows it cut, you cutting with it.
But I know, but the massive amounts that they have in the back, it's just,
This is just as wide as a bush hog.
Okay, we're talking to.
Okay, so let's finish this. So Marlon has a good point. So you still want to, you'd want to do your motion to adjudicate based on?
Whatever the board wants. I mean, I personally, I hate it because I know it's a brand new vehicle, basically. But then I also agree, yes or no, Raymond, do you feel like your guys were liable?
Can I define liability so everybody doesn't think it's some bad term? It means a failure, just simply a failure to exercise reasonable care, to me. And it's just a risk. I mean, I realize they're out on the road doing their job. And so in this situation, what I see is grass and then I see gravel. See a mower that came in contact with gravel. That's a problem. It may not have been something they could do anything about, but it may be a failure to exercise reasonable care. This board has adjudicated before claims, and it was different where somebody came up over a driveway with the blade still and caught the gravel in the driveway.
That was, to
And
me,
so-
that's not.
But this one picture, we're fixing to hit a lot of gravel when he hits it, and he did hit it, and, you know, you're just balancing the evidence there. I'm not trying to advocate, just to explain to the board with your decision. Anytime gravel's ahead of you, you got a mower spinning, you gotta lift it.
I don't mean to be argumentative, Tim.
I know,
But there can be gravel and grass in the same place.
And that would be different.
Yes, sir.
If I saw just a rock coming out of grass, I would have a different opinion. There's nothing you can do about that.
But there was
here-
grass on the side where he was
Yes, but
cutting.
here there's a,
He'd had to leave that grass to avoid the rock, which he, you know, it's just getting.
it's just difficult because there is a lot of gravel in this picture. It
Right.
looks like it slung it out of that, it caught the gravel and slung a lot of it up on the roadway. And so, to me, it leans more towards that side than it does not.
Yeah.
Just because of that.
All right, so
Now, I have a sticker shock with $14,000. We'll resolve that
Yeah.
other side.
all right, so we have a motion to adjudicate. I will second.
Based upon Walt's
Right,
recommendation of cost, you
And
know.
Right,
inspection.
we're subject to confirming
Subject.
damages. The board has not agreed to pay the $14,000
Correct.
damages. At this point, we'll figure that out based on Walt's review of it.
all right, so we have a motion, I made the second, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Well, who will get in touch with them? Because I've had a lot of people
I will.
saying they do things and no one gets in touch with
I'll
them.
give you a card and you can email me.
Okay.
And you're gonna call Walter?
I'm gonna email Walt the package.
All right. Number 4, order taking off the table auto claim of Algen in the amount of $364.25. Al is at work, if y'all recall. He didn't know they were cutting grass. Oh, you're here, Al. Hello.
Now, you said you did know they were
He
cutting
did know
grass.
that, that's the
You
problem.
said-
Oh, I thought he said after.
No, you said-
They came in and told you I'm getting ready to cut grass.
No, that particular day, when I pulled in, they got called to go do another project, then they were coming back.
So you did know they were cutting grass?
Okay. I mean, obviously, I don't know, what do y'all?
See, now, this one to me is kind of cut and dry because you knew they were cutting grass, yet you didn't go move your car.
I'll remind the board, we had a claim just like this with the sheriff's department one time. The board
Mm-hmm.
instructed the county employees they were to go notify them that they were gonna be cutting grass so they could move their vehicles if they chose to. It doesn't matter whether they told you if you knew it. I mean, you either knew it or you don't know it. How you know it's not really relevant.
Right.
Al's my friend. I want his windshield to get fixed.
That's how I feel.
I-
And he's at our senior center doing a job.
But there's a problem with whether or not the county can pay this claim based on it. Just what we discussed earlier. I don't know how you would ever cut grass except to give somebody an opportunity. We all know that. I mean, they
We
mowed
had
my
a
grass this
similar-
morning. If they hit a rock in my yard, I knew it was gonna break my windshield if it hit it. I can't blame it on them for
Yeah.
throwing something out of my yard. It's no different there. You have an opportunity to move your vehicle so there's not near that. It's just vehicles have glass. Vehicles,
But in this particular case, it was parked, you knew the grass was being mowed and you couldn't move the vehicle. And we had a similar incident here. So I don't know that I would support paying this. It's up to the board.
I'm not sure you can pay it under the circumstances because of the nature of how it occurred.
So I'll
Bobby?
make a,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can I just, we used to cut that property, you know where he is, before they brought Burton them in. That is the absolute most horrible property. We broke so many windows on that building, everywhere on that building. It was like it was a gravel lot that grass grew through.
which is all the more reason why the employees need to move the cars when y'all are out
Yeah,
there.
I don't argue that.
And you need to go and make sure they know you're out there.
Yeah, I don't cut it now. I'm saying we used to cut that property.
Did the
When we used to
employee
cut
come in
it.
and tell you, hey, we were cutting grass at 2:00?
He saw them going.
How
in.
did you know?
That's what he said.
All right, that particular day, Bert and them were parked there, and I came in, Bert said, hey, we got a call to go do another
Oh,
property at the time.
so he did tell you to come back.
So he said they were leaving, come back, no, I mean, then he comes in that afternoon, a little bit later, something, we always give him bottled water or Diet Coke or something, you know, for them, so.
So maybe by law, we're not gonna be
Yeah.
allowed.
Well, I don't wanna cause any,
He didn't even wanna come today. I'm the one that told him he needs to come. but-
and I don't wanna cause any problems.
Did we-
Bert and them do a great job out there.
That's fine.
And please understand, I don't. I talked to Neil and I spoke to you. If there's gonna be any hard feelings, I wanna withdraw my incident.
Well, first thing we need to do is make a motion to
Oh, to take it off the table. All right, so we're gonna make a motion to take it off the table.
Motion.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, now we're discussing an auto claim about Jens. So you wanna just take it, just,
I just want, I don't wanna cause any problems between anybody. I paid for it, it's working fine. Bert and them do a great job. I know what happened, but I just don't wanna have.
I just know what you get paid and I feel really bad that this is coming out of your pocket.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think.
So, but no,
based on
I'm
my
like-
attorney's advice,
Yeah, so we'll make a motion to deny, I
I would say
believe.
maybe.
I'd rather you have it withdrawn.
Okay, all those in favor to deny, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion's denied. Thank you, I'm sorry.
All right, no problem.
All right,
Didn't want any
reports.
hard feelings.
Where is it? Mr. Booker, Derek Booker, are you here? Oh, there you go. Sorry, I didn't, if you want to approach. We're just gonna do this addendum quickly since you're here. Give me your name and address quickly, please.
Derek Booker, 244 Dewey Circle, Biloxi, Mississippi.
And Supervisor Martin said that you rented a fire pit and they ran you off at 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's okay.
Yes,
Either
ma'am.
one.
And I was just wanting to know why would they issue a permit to 12 o'clock at night if you can't be on the beach till 10 o'clock at night?
When they came at 10, Biloxi Police, what reason did they give you?
They didn't
They just said leave?
had bad officer at the time. Very bad officer.
Did
Came
you-
like 20 cars deep.
Did you speak with Chief Miller?
I talked to Chief Miller about it.
What did he say?
He said it's a problem between the city who polices the beach and the Harrison County issuing the permit to 12. And they say the beach closed at, well, the parking lot closes
The
at
parking lot.
10.
So here's the issue, if I
But you
may.
issued a permit to 12 o'clock to be at a
Right.
bonfire. And I
Okay.
told him you can't be at a bonfire if you can't park at the beach.
Right. Sheriff?
Was this with the White House?
It was at the
Yes.
lighthouse. About 20 police officers came. At least 20 police officers came. I had a bad police officer told if I didn't leave now, every car out there would be towed.
I don't know anything about it, don't know nothing about it, but I can tell you what the issue is with it.
Yeah.
That area congregates a lot of people, not only for the fire pit, but people gather there, that's a gathering place for.
Yes, it's a tourist spot. It's the
There you
biggest
go.
tourist spot on the coast.
So I'm, wasn't there, don't know anything about it, and I just took a wild guess of where it was, but I would assume that there's complaints, and they blamed it on him instead of blaming it on the people in the parking lot. That's just an assumption, because I'm sure there's a ton of people there that night.
Yeah, it was a ton of people there.
So they're blaming it on him, and the people that you had there may not have been a part of that.
I
It's-
definitely know.
That parking lot stays packed kind of,
So it raises a problem.
especially on the weekends.
Let me ask this, if I may. So basically, when the county issues permits for fire pit, it's till midnight. Gulfport leaves their parking bays open at midnight. Biloxi shuts some of theirs at 10. Would it be easier just to move the fire pit to a different area?
Or just set the time?
Set the time
Set
and
the
time so
time
they
with
know.
the parking lot and the fire pit.
But we got
Say
an
again?
issue
We're talking about
to match.
coordinating with Biloxi. If Biloxi closes the parking lot area down at 10 o'clock, then we need to when we issue a permit, have it understood that that permit ceases at 10 o'clock at the fire pit would have to. That needs to be coordinated.
I came down to be Saturday night and there was a bonfire at White Avenue and it was probably almost 12 o'clock at night. And
Different area.
so different areas got different times.
No.
You're missing the point. What
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
saying is that the area you were at, and like I said before, I had no idea what you were even talking about. It doesn't
Yeah,
associate
I
with me at all.
understand.
I'm saying that area alone congregates a lot of people. So I'm sure that Biloxi, just an assumption, I'm sure that they had complaint after complaint after complaint. That's why they showed up with a bunch of people to say, we're done.
Okay.
That's probably what happened.
I understand.
But no, White Avenue does not have that congregation area. So therefore,
It's easy.
nobody's gonna say anything about it. Nobody's gonna get any complaints.
I understand.
Would the board object if I spoke to Chief Miller and kind of get an idea of what areas are they all closing at different times, or am I overstepping my bounds?
If
No, I
I may
mean-
suggest the permit for the fire pit, doesn't have anything to do with parking, it has to do with the beach and permits. And so the fact that Biloxi chooses to shut down the parking lot at 10 doesn't negate the permit is for the whole beach, not 26 miles of beach, it's not for one spot. And the board could create a regulation that says in that particular area, that permit is only until 10 if you wanted
We're
to.
talking about avoiding the problem again, Tim,
Right.
by
I mean,
coordinating the times.
that's right.
And if we should be able to specify that particular area, a
Sand
That's
fire
what
pit that closes down
Yeah.
at 10 o'clock, if that's what it
Supervisor
says.
John?
Sand Beach ought to be able to just take the permit at that area should stop at
Right.
10
That'd be
without
the way to
changing
do
a whole lot of
That'd be the best thing.
issues.
Everybody gotta be on the same
I mean,
page.
it's-
Right.
What has happened has happened, we can't do anything about
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
except maybe, what's the refund on the permit?
I think it was like $20 to get, but
The
that,
permit's like $25 or something.
it's just about everybody being on the same page.
Right, he's not.
Or when I get the permit, tell me to close at 10 o'clock or.
I would suggest we
All
fund
right,
his money no
Supervisor
matter
Jones.
what it is, since
Okay.
he didn't get
Go
the
ahead,
whole
I'm listening.
time, but, coordinate those times together.
So was
That's
it,
not, doesn't seem hard to do.
I would like, I mean, I'm willing to.
Okay,
adopt
Supervisor
something.
Jones?
was it your impression that you had to leave the
It was
bonfire?
very much my impression.
What I'm saying is, was it your impression you had to leave the bonfire, you had to leave the parking area?
No, he told me I couldn't park on the beach, I had to
Right.
leave.
On the beach?
Yeah, but my thing is I can't be at a bonfire if I can't park on the beach, where would I
Yeah,
park
he
at?
can.
Huh?
You're right.
Yeah, where would I park at if I can't, if I got a bonfire, like, how I'm gonna get the wood there, the stuff we got, that kinda don't make sense to me
And the
personally.
cleanup after.
Yeah, like, I gotta come back over here, like, how would I clean up?
All right, what's the board's wish?
If it's okay with the board, I would like to at least start a dialogue with the city and find out if there are certain areas that people congregate, then at least we can coordinate. Right now, until Mr. Booker called, I had no idea that
Right.
there was
What
an
might
issue.
need to be, Beverly, is get Chuck Loftus. Since Chuck is big person, get Chuck Loftus, get this straight, so.
Yeah, cause this,
You'll be
you
aware
know,
of it.
this is the first I've heard, it's probably happened before, but nobody's ever called me.
Listen, he brought up two different things. He brought up driving on the beach too, and there is no permit to drive on the beach.
Drive on the beach, no, no, no.
He said park on the beach, so you
Park
can
on,
pick up-
parking at the parking bays on the beach, that's what I
Parking,
like.
okay.
Yeah, definitely not driving on the beach. Yeah.
So, did you have a wish to even refund his $20, sir? Is that what you said?
I mean.
I'm not worried about it.
At least that's what
I know
I'm
you're
just
not.
saying.
I would suggest to the board that the board authorize the Sand Beach Department to contact any of the cities and determine whether or not there's any parking restrictions that coincide with these pits.
Yeah, I'll make
So
that
those
motion.
permits
And they
can
need to
be
tell us.
coordinated so that they end when the parking, so you don't have these type of kind of.
That's what I was saying, everybody's gotta be on the
Or
same
you could
page.
just simply add to the permit until midnight or whenever the local jurisdiction determines.
That's-
We
parking
need
is
to
no
do
longer.
that too.
Yeah, that's all I'm suggesting,
So
everybody be on the
I'll
same
make a
page.
motion that we get Chuck to.
If they close at 10, I wouldn't have a problem with it, I would up at 10, you know what I'm saying?
And also,
With all the
Tim, if you
cities.
would look at the fire permit or all the permits on the beach and add that language to that contract.
Another thing, is summertime, it get dark at like 8 o'clock, so it's gonna only last for like an hour or two, and
Okay.
it's gonna be over in a minute.
Right.
I think the sheriff is correct, more than likely what's happened is they were getting citizen complaints about.
Yeah, I understand that, I understand
Not
that.
you.
But it
I
wasn't
wish the
your
police
verdict.
would, I wish the police would've said that when they came, instead of you gotta leave right now, we're gonna tow your car
Yeah.
and be in who you are.
Obviously, they sent 20 people, somebody was complaining.
Uh-huh.
Definitely.
I would
Thank you
hope.
for your time.
All right, thanks a lot.
We really
All
appreciate
right,
it.
definitely.
Not about y'all, but about
Okay.
whatever was going on in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah, I understand. All right, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Booker. So we have a motion to get with Chuck Loftus of Sand Beach, to get with the
Cities.
All the
cities,
cities.
local
All the
jurisdiction, all the cities, and coordinate our beach signs.
And also have Mr. Holloman add
The right language.
the language, once this meeting takes place, there may be other areas, like I don't know if Long Beach does, or
Okay.
whoever, but there might be other areas.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right. Yeah, that's good. Glad you brought it to our attention. Number 6, order concurring
Madam
with,
President.
we're gonna
Yeah,
skip 6.
Because there was an update on with number 7.
All right, so just go to 7.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Order concurring with and adjudicating approval of the resolution of the Harris County Development Commission authorizing addendum 3 to purchase agreement extension for the sale of approximately 5 acres of real property in the Bernard Bayou Industrial District to Larry Bloomberg and Associates Incorporated. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Opposed, Rocco. Number 8, order concurring with the resolution of the Harrison County Development Commission approving and accepting the bid of Commercial Electric of Long Beach, Inc. for general electrical contractor services with the commission's industrial parks on an as-needed basis. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 9, order concurring with the resolution of the Harrison County Development Commission and approving the granting of a Freeport warehouse license to operate a Freeport warehouse for storage of personal property to be shipped out of state during each calendar year for a period of 5 years to Urpac Service, Inc., as authorized by Mississippi Code annotated 273151 at sequence 1972 as amended. Motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second? Do we have a second?
What number are we?
Number 9, Freeport warehouse storage of
I'll
personal
second.
property.
Second
Okay,
discussion.
discussion. Good morning, can you state your name and
Morning.
address, please?
Mike Fanish, home address or business address?
Either one,
764 Destiny Plantation, Biloxi, Mississippi.
okay.
And I'm a representative of Europac, doing business as Muscle Foods USA. We office at 273 Covenant Square, Biloxi. Been in business there for over 30 years. My brother, his wife, and I started a business 30 years ago. In 2016, we merged with Europac. We are a wholesale distributor of sports nutrition products, protein powders, energy drinks. We sell outside the state of Mississippi, inside the state of Mississippi. We're a wholesaler. So we're requesting the exemption for the items that are sold outside of the state of Mississippi. So we sell to Planet Fitness, Smoothie King, Dick's Sporting Goods, Academy Sports. So it's almost like somebody's getting double dipped here. So if I sell Dick's Sporting Goods some protein powder, and you guys come in and assessed our inventory last week, and then the inventory moves over to Dick's, which they're selling to the end consumer, we're a middleman, and you're assessing Dick's on their inventory.
This only says today we are approving and granting a license to operate. You're talking about taxation.
Yes.
Today, we're talking about a license to operate.
We've been operating there for.
It's a Freeport.
So why-
It's a Freeport exemption.
But the word exemption is not in
I
here.
understand.
So we
Right.
need to rephrase
That's the application.
what, whoever wrote this order, I'm just making sure that what we're voting on, because
Yeah, 'cause I
nothing
can't
in here
think of
says
it.
exemption or taxation.
We got it.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I can't get it
Yeah.
done.
Oh, you're still locking up? Tim, you want to read the wording and tell me if I'm wrong?
Yeah, well, that's what the application says, but I'm not sure. I have to look at the statute real quick. It's an exemption.
I would simply make
Yes,
make the motion to be a Freeport exemption.
okay.
Let the board, let the motion state that, no matter what's written in there.
So you want to make a motion for the exemption? We have a mo,
He made the motion. He made a motion.
No, I would say that's what I would do, whoever made the motion to make it clear that this is a Freeport exemption motion. Doesn't have anything to do with any license.
right.
Yeah, because that's not what this says.
That could be the language of the statute. I'm just trying to get to it.
So do we want to table this so you can change the language? No, Tricia?
It's fine.
It's fine.
All right.
All right, so Supervisor Jones made a motion for the exemption. Do we have a second?
We already have a second.
We did have a second?
Second for discussion.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Any,
Aye.
I should have said any further discussion. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, number 10, order concurring with the resolution of the Mississippi Coast Coliseum Commission authorizing and approving the submission of an application to the Gulf Coast Restoration Fund seeking funding to assist in the creation of an expanded footprint for the Mississippi Coast Coliseum and Convention Center. Hello, Matt. You look nice today.
Thank you.
Good morning. I've been here several times where y'all have granted us the authority to purchase land. And the land that we have recently purchased is in the map that you see on your front page. We have purchased 3 out of 15 homes on Oakmont Place. And the second page shows the remaining parcels and the square footage of the homes that sit on those parcels, and the approximate or the average square footage price that we paid for the first three. And then our demolition cost is pretty much constant. And then we're estimating what the value of these homes will be based on that average square foot price, minus the sales commission that the realtors are going to get. And we come up with a figure for land of $3,508,000 total. That includes the property that we've already purchased. That totaled, the property that we've already purchased is $580,000 out of that $3,508,000. The development cost, we got an estimate based on what we just experienced with the old Holiday Inn site from WF4 Construction. And to develop the property, if you go to the back page, you can see the parcels in the red boxes that we would be developing. It's going to run $1,950,000. Now, we did put contingencies in there from a timing standpoint and from a negotiating standpoint with some of the property owners. And the total project comes up to $5,653,254. Now, we have to have 20% match in order to qualify for the grant. We've already spent $580,000 on those three parcels. That leaves us with new purchases that we will make in the amount of $549,000, and all of this money is coming out of our operating funds. 100% of that money is operating funds. So we're going to ask Gulf Coast Restoration Council to approve or to recommend to the state legislature in the amount of $4,522,000 to where we can do the entire project.
And you got the match already?
Yes, ma'am, we will have the match.
So
We've got to buy 2 more houses, and then that'll get our match to where we need to be.
So all you're asking the board to do is,
Permission to apply, is that what you asked for, man?
We have to have a resolution.
Have we made a motion?
I'll make it.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
You may take this back.
Good luck to all of y'all that have elections coming up.
Can I ask one
You keep
question?
that.
I hate wasting them.
And those of us that,
And congratulations to the one that get to retire.
Don't have to.
Yeah, Matt.
Before you leave, how you coming with the audit?
July 17th. Mr. Colliber and his crew will bombard us then. One other thing I wanted to also bring to y'all's attention, through the month of June, we have surpassed our budget expectations. So everything we do for the next 3 months is pretty much above and beyond what we even thought we would do. So it's been another good year.
So you
Fantastic.
think your audit will be done by July 17th?
He's coming July 17th.
Oh, he's coming. When do you think, how long do you think it'll take?
Maybe 6 to 8 weeks tops. And that'll clean us up.
What kind of wait?
That'll clean us up until we finish our fiscal year.
All right, thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Consent
push us
agenda,
to September.
Okay. Jennifer needs it.
okay. Agenda items numbered 11 through 13 have been placed on the consent agenda, same appearing to be routine, non-controversial matters on which all supervisors are likely to approve. Motion,
Motion. Second.
discussion. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 14, order acknowledging receipt of and approving petitions for decreases to the 2022 real property roll as recommended by the tax assessor. Motion,
Motion. Second.
discussion. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. County engineer, order approving the final plat for High Point subdivision, Phase 1B, subdivision 36 lots located in Section 21, Township 6 South, Range 11 West, Supervisors Voting District 5, First Judicial District, as recommended by Jacqueline Turner, P.E., Harrison County Engineer, and authorizing the board president to execute the same. Motion,
Motion,
Second.
discussion.
discussion, are we sure we've gotten all of their water taken care of in that subdivision?
In this phase, yes, we've got more phases to still make sure are correct, but this part is correct.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And I know the people that live below will.
Yeah. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Fire Services order authorizing the purchase of 6 sets of turnout gear from Bunker Gear Specialist at a total of $16,290 payable from State Rebate Fund, and authorize a budget amendment to 103250691. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 17, order authorizing the purchase of 10 pair of boots from Bunker Gear Specialist at a total of $4,350 payable from State Rebate Fund, and authorize a budget amendment to 103250691. Motion.
Motion.
Second, anyone?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 18, order spreading upon the minutes temporary permits to kindle beach fire. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion, how did this come about? I mean, I'm just curious.
These are the, what we were talking about.
To
Aren't-
kindle?
These are the contracts for the
Fire pit rentals.
Fire
fire pits.
We running those across,
Yeah.
That's
I
the
guess
fire
I'll-
per-
That's the fire permits, but this is
The pit, fire pit permit?
what I'm looking
I just never heard the term to kindle.
at.
I
Me
never
either.
heard of that.
Okay.
But it's basically spreading on the minutes all the fire permit
Mhm.
contracts, so we need to say contracts.
Yeah.
But,
Is Kendall Beach Fire a business? No? Okay.
Kindle means like start the
I know
fire.
it,
It's
I
just
know,
a poor
but it
choice of
sounded like,
words.
it
Right.
sounded like a
Fancy
business. to me.
choice of words.
Yeah, so
Choice of
just
words.
beach fire pits.
Spreading on the minutes and temporary permits to Kendall Beach Fire.
Okay.
Sounds like a company to me.
but this is the permit where we need to add the language, Mr.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second? Do anybody second?
You already had them
Oh, we do? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Nolan.
Good. Zoning recommends concurrence with the planning commission, recommendations for cases 19 through 21.
Motion.
Do we have a second? Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, 22, order approving payment of claims listed to be paid from the tort account.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 23, order spreading upon the minutes the list of emergency, low quote, and state contract orders issued by the purchasing department for the month of June 2023. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 24, order designating any Board of Supervisor, purchase clerk, chancery clerk, or department head as needed as the board's representatives to receive bid specifications and bids as follows. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Recognizing Sheriff Troy Peterson as he reports on the number of persons currently housed in the Harrison County Jail.
Good morning. We have 725, 116 females, 25 federal inmates, 46 misdemeanors, and 231 state inmates, with 32 of those loaded, ready to go.
Anything else going on?
2 addendums.
Oh, yes, I'm glad you said that. Okay, so we have 2 addendums for the Sheriff's Office. Order approving the low quote purchase from Floor Company for new flooring at the Harrison County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $50,423.78, payable from 001-200-641, and authorizing a 75% deposit as per attached quote. Is this the entire jail? How big, 50,000
It's all,
floor?
it's every administrative office, it's every classroom, every patrol briefing, hallways, records, Gordon's office, so yes, it's
Most of the do,
most of the top floor.
and it's LVP, luxury vinyl tile, LTV or whatever.
Yeah, just the same stuff's in here.
The rollout.
That's their name,
Yeah, that's what it says on the quote, floor company.
Florco, yeah.
The reason that I asked, I know we had, this came up once before, and we had a discussion in reference to these companies that are in arrears for their personal property taxes, and yet we're low bidding and getting county contracts. And I know, Tim, I didn't know about the legal part, but I got an issue with that. If these companies are in arrears, sometimes thousands and thousands of dollars that they have not paid their personal taxes.
I had that come up just recently, and I advised Mr. Westler to please, if you have liens, and to execute on the funds that are owed to that flooring company by the county.
Is that
How
either one of
did-
these?
Now, that's two different issues. First is, this company did work for the county, was the low bidder, is due to be paid. We gotta ask whether or not they should pay, and then I sent Mr. Westler, so they're owed money, execute on it.
I don't have a problem with
I
that.
would think he would stop bidding once he realizes that's gonna happen, but, this board has the authority to determine the lowest and best bid. If the lowest bidder has credit issues, the board can take that into account in deciding whether or not to award it to that bidder or the next bidder, because they're not the lowest and best bidder. Now,
Is
that the
this
issue with this
company?
company?
I don't know.
That's what I wanna know.
Don't think this is-
I don't know, but that's why I asked you if that's their name. I'm not
No,
sure,
it's
but
not.
that's a different company.
It's a different company.
Okay.
Yeah, this was on Pass Road from what it says.
Yeah, I'm not, I just I wasn't for sure which company, what company this is, and I just want to get clarification.
It's not this company.
That's not the,
It's
okay.
not this.
I can find it, you know,
That's fine.
But that-
at this point.
And I only see one bid.
There's two
There's
there.
another one from,
One was 50, one was 56,
Right.
57.
Oh, I see it. I was so
That's what I
short.
really wanted, a clarification, which,
Oh, okay.
if that was the same company.
I'm gonna make sure here in just a second.
Okay, so it's not the company in question. All right, do we have a motion or any further discussion on it?
I'm gonna have a motion on the second.
I know, I just said, do we have a motion?
No.
No, I'm talking to them.
Motion.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second? Okay,
If that's not the same company.
this is not the company that we've had a lien for taxes. Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, the second addendum for the sheriff. Order accepting the only bid received for the purchase of 10 police pursuit vehicles from Courtesy Motors in the amount of $44,510 per vehicle, bringing the total amount to $445,100, payable from 029215915, as recommended by the sheriff's office. Motion?
Motion.
second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, acknowledging receipt of the monthly inmate meal log from the Harris County Adult Detention Center for the month of June for 2023, as on file with the county administrator for statute 192574.
Motion.
Do we have a second? Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 27, order spreading upon the minutes Harrison County Sheriff's Deputies Off-Duty Employment Roster and House Bill 453 for the month of July 2023. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 28, order acknowledging receipt of bids for solar and mobile license plate readers for the Harrison County Sheriff's Office, received Wednesday, June 28, 2023, and with each tabulated with the lowest bidder, Motorola Solutions, Inc., being the best and principal supplier, and next low bidder being the alternate supplier as recommended by the Sheriff's Office Comptroller and Purchase Clerk. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 29, order approving purchase of 10 mobile in-car radios from ITS EPL 3744 in the amount of $46,884 from Communications International, payable from 001-200-921, and authorizing a transfer of 001-202-431. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 30, order authorizing the board president to execute quarterly reporting for Senate Bill 3065, sheriff's funding for the Harrison County Law Enforcement Training Academy for the quarter ending June 30th, 2023. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 31, order authorizing disposal of assets per attached list and authorizing the inventory clerk to remove the same from the inventory. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Anyone? Wait, let's rock roll up over there.
Anyone opposed?
I'm just biding my time.
That's right.
Taking it easy.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 32, order acknowledging receipt of and spreading upon the minutes the following. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
I'll make you work, Marla.
That's right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Order acknowledging receipt of the following checks for deposit in the proper accounts. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 34, order approving the request of the district attorney to give temporary VPN access to Chief Investigator Terry Hines during the month of August while on medical leave. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay. 35, Comptroller, order authorizing the following reimbursements to the road fund 150-000-360. Motion?
Motion.
I think she's away.
Does that count for two motions? Second. Any discussion?
I think, jamming up now.
I don't know this is a signal.
Mine's working good.
Mine started working for some
I didn't
reason.
see.
Well, I got the
I was
paper.
confused.
Yeah, it's not any problem.
I can't get it to move up and down. Am I missing something?
All right, so we have a motion and a second for number 35. Any further discussion?
Is that all I was doing?
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed?
Here's one good thing.
Motion carries.
Everybody.
36, order approving claims docket per Mississippi Code of 1972, annotated section 191327. Motion?
Motion.
Have a second? Second, anyone?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 37, order approving payment of the following claims. Motion?
Motion.
Second discussion, are those checks back on here? Oh, no. Okay. Before we took off last time.
No, they were not ready because the Chancery Clerk.
They're waiting on the orders
from the court.
To extend the stay.
Wait till the orders from the chief of court to verify that it complies with the
On
agreement.
mental health.
Yeah, that's what I thought those checks.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 38, order spreading upon the minutes the following executed rental agreements for the month of June 2023.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 39, order approving travel for Supervisor Rocco to attend the Southeastern Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies 77th Annual Conference held October 15th through 18th in Corpus Christi, Texas. Cost about $1,200. Motion?
Motion.
Discussion?
Yeah, is the state's council gonna meet during that time?
This is the 5-state caucus, and they
That's
asked
what I
me to
meant.
be a speaker on the panel.
Yes, I think they're having a meeting about that.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 40, order authorizing and approving acceptance of easements for the lift station and related force main needed to serve Veterans Boulevard in support of the Mississippi Veterans Home at Tradition from Columbus Communities LLC. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
I object to this. Just messing with Gerald.
Come on.
All those in favor say aye.
You better not, you better.
Anyone opposed?
Waking Gerald up.
Motion carries. 41, order approving the Biloxi Public School District's request to resurface the track used as the student parent pickup and drop-off lane at the Biloxi Upper Elementary pursuant to the terms of the interlocal agreement governmental cooperation agreement between the county and the Biloxi School District.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
They're paying for everything.
I was just gonna say,
Just our guys.
paying and what, okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Thanks,
opposed?
Gerald.
Motion carries. 42, order adjudicating the tax sale of August 30th, 2021 on tax parcel 0711H-05-058.000 for 2020 taxes as erroneous and thus void ab initio and for related purposes. Motion?
Motion.
Discussion?
This was a piece of property had been sold to the state, therefore it was exempt, it should not have been sold for taxes.
Okay.
So it qualifies to be set aside.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 43, order adjudicating and authorizing expenditures as listed and as necessary to advertise and bring into favorable notice the opportunities, possibilities, and resources of Harrison County, including the county logo being displayed along with the link displayed to Harrison County online.
I'll make a motion, but also, if somebody else second, I need to correct.
Second, for discussion.
We need to remove A until I get a little more information, please.
Okay, so,
I mean, just
all right, a motion to just count.
eliminate A, just count A.
Okay, well, let's have discussion now.
So the motion is to approve B through D.
Yes. Yes.
Motion to approve B.
And do we have a second? Okay. The only question I have about D, NAACP, I know they're doing a health fair, but it was brought to my attention that we gave them money a while back and then the event didn't happen, perhaps? Is anyone aware, who told me that? Anyone aware of that? Did it, the
Not aware of
event
that.
happen? Okay. And then the Juneteenth happened? Okay.
Juneteenth wasn't in WCP.
No, that was a different group,
That was
right?
approved.
It wasn't in
It was in
the
Biloxi.
Okay. I just want to, when we have our new PIR, I just want to reiterate that we have to follow up. We have to make sure that the events happened. And I don't know how we do that, make that part of our job.
Miss Kim gave us a file,
Yeah,
and then like anything that happens in District 1,
she follows up.
she follows up, or now it's my assistant follows up since Kim is no longer here, but probably
Right.
PIO needs to follow up.
Okay. All right, I'm good. Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed?
No.
Motion carries. All right, Sheriff, what you got today?
Trying to think.
don't think I have anything. Well, I mean, I guess I got a question. I don't think this is a executive board question, but when we do the, feed the needy for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, that is a fund that was set up way before I was here. But it was a fund that was set up through everybody, through all the cities and the county was the administrator of the account. I have since pulled us from that administrator. I just don't, nothing is wrong. I just feel that it either needs to be an LLC or it needs to be something to where it has a board. We have a board, but it has a board that oversees everything. So the funds come in from donations, and citizens donate for this, and we usually do, we've done upwards of 4,000 meals, 5,000 meals for these different events. But the money's not coming in like it used to. You don't have the donations that businesses and everybody else donate for this. The casinos donate, everything else we buy from the different vendors, and we actually purchase those things for those. So what I'd like the board to consider, and it does not have to be done today, this is something that we can talk about September, whenever you want to talk about it, but it's just something I want to bring up because I'm thinking about it. The board and the cities all putting in something, whether it's $1,500 a year, anything helps, but it's a donation. We donate to everything else. I think we need to donate to this. It's a good cause and it feeds a lot of people.
Sheriff,
for those two events.
if I may, I recall though, it's not a bona fide, recognized association. That's all that needs to be done. The group needs to go to the Secretary of State.
Well, that's what I said. It
form a
needs to
real
be,
association.
right, that's how it needs to be
Because you can't
formed.
donate to just a bunch of people, although it's
Well,
nice.
it
but
was
that
my
a problem,
understanding
I
in the
think.
very beginning that this was. Well,
I think it's-
our attorneys did it for free. They filed everything and, an agency dropped the ball and didn't file it. So they're working on refiling it right now. So it will be, established this year, but it's just, I think that the counties and the cities need to step up and fund this event because that's where all the food goes.
I agree. We just gotta have a mechanism to do it.
I think, Tim, did we get local and private legislation allowing us to contribute to feed?
Right, right.
Feed my
This is
sheep
a
that
different
expired.
Pardon?
It had feed my sheep, we had I think it was $10,000, but it expired.
Oh, that
But this is a
local.
It had a
different-
repealer in it.
It's
It
for
didn't
an
get
air conditioning
reinstated.
generator or something.
Probably the best way to handle that is the question of whether or not the board can contribute to it is to actually get a local and private that authorizes the donation. The sheriff's department is administering the fund, right?
No, they're not.
No, not anymore. But it wouldn't be anything to the sheriff's office. It would be to whatever the organization is. And I think it's law enforcement feed the needy, I think is what it is.
But they gotta be
They have to have a corporate status.
they have to have federal tax ID
Right.
or something.
As a not-for-profit.
Right, no, it's just for.
We could talk about using the legislature to do something like that. I just was trying to research to see if I could see, and there may be some AG's opinions on it. so we'll
I
look
look,
at
but
it.
step one is to have a tax ID.
Right.
Right, and we have a tax ID number.
I
We
mean,
have all
you get
that.
a bona fide Secretary of State.
What I think the holdup was the paperwork that was done to file through the Secretary of State's office was not done. It was forgot about and it wasn't done.
Okay,
Then we can go.
anything else?
That's it.
Dr. Ladner? Mr. Jones? Okay, let's see. I just want to start discussion. Nothing has to be done today, but Jackie, I want to get with you on Audubon Lake because the fire chief, we've had a lot of people call saying, basically they got all the permits in 2007 and they're still building. They still have 35 lots they could build upon, but he went and looked at it and the chief, you said that it would not, with only one exit, it would not pass fire code. It would not.
Not today, no ma'am, according to we would not issue, we would not agree with that under the code that we're under today. They could not build that way, no ma'am.
But they've already, when did they start building this?
The
2007.
Did it pass code
Yeah,
then?
this, nobody in my administration, as far as the fire side, the inspectors or any, were here at that time. I don't know who was here at that side, so we're just picking up from what was in the past, today. So under the codes today, we would not, that would not be allowed.
the conditional uses in the plats that were started in 2005 and 7 were appropriate at the time. And so they're platted lots that are eligible to be built on at this point. And so prohibiting building, in my opinion, of course, I'm not an attorney, but I've always heard that's kind of a take if you don't let somebody use the property for what it's made for. But
Well,
it's-
that's why I want to say today, if I could have the board's authority to work with our attorney and look into it, because it's a safety issue, so.
It's certainly not the only subdivision that has that issue
Yeah.
associated with it. Swan
It
Lake
was
is
platted and approved in 07, 05, 07.
in that neighborhood. I can't remember, was it
We can
five,
look at
six,
it
or
and see if
seven?
there's anything.
I think what actually happened, and I may be wrong on this, but my research on it looks like it was in '05. It was approved in no, it was approved in '05, and I think that it changed the ordinance changed, I think in 6, and they started building in 7, but it already had been approved. It was on-
So what's the request?
So my request is, do I even have to make a motion to get with the
No,
lawyers
just-
and see if we have to revisit and,
Just look at it and see.
Just look
what
at
we
it,
can
okay.
do. You
All
wanna- I assume the problem is having 2 entrances.
Yeah, the whole thing is about 2
Problem
entrances.
is-
That's what
Yeah,
the whole issue in a nutshell is.
Problem is communication.
Now you would have to have 2 entrances when I think they first did it, you didn't have, for the number of houses in that development.
okay. All right, I just wanted to throw that out there, so I'm gonna work with y'all on that, Tricia and Tim. Okay. And then I wanted to, make a motion to call the new, ball field area, track, everything.
Walking track,
What's it called, walking track?
I believe.
On Little Market Road, for Rocco Memorial Park, or whatever you wanna call it, track.
I don't know if that's it.
That's what the text said, so I'm going by the words. Well, you won't be in office after January, whatever your service, I don't know. Thank you, sweetie. Whatever you want to call it. It was your crew who asked me, it wasn't.
That's sweet.
That was Bobby's wording, so.
Can we build a trash dump over there?
Stop it.
We already have one of those.
Thank you.
We have a second? All right, any discussion? Kent, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Well, thank
Motion
y'all. I
carries.
appreciate it.
Thank you for 20, whatever years.
36.
36? Jeez. All right, Supervisor Martin? Ms. Rocco?
Aye. No, ma'am.
Ms. Thrash?
No, ma'am.
Unless the board has any questions, I don't have anything.
Amazing.
We don't have an issue to discuss on personnel.
Not sure.
Is there an update on that?
On what?
Ken's bond.
If you wanna have a personnel discussion involving the board, we could do that.
I want
I can
to,
tell you
I'm
what we
asking,
know
is there an
today.
update and are we within our time frame?
I think at this point, yes, my understanding is that there's been some questions asked about one of the applications that probably need to be answered, but maybe we should go into executive session and discuss that. Would be both pending litigation and personnel matter,
Anything besides that, Tim?
nothing other than that.
All right. Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion.
Second.
You want to go into closed session where you can discuss the need to go into executive session?
Okay. So make a motion to go into closed session?
Yeah, so y'all can, see phases, maybe questions.
Yeah. All right, do a second to go into closed session?
Motion to go into closed session.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, we have a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion coming
Second.
We need to tell us if anybody's outside.
on.
All those in favor
Forgot about
say
that
aye.
part, sorry.
How many Carolyn's standing right there now? Is that Carolyn?
Yeah,
She don't
I never recognize where their hair down.
Me either, she don't see it, I'm like.
There was no one else.
Okay, Mr. Holloman?
Did we make a motion?
Motion come out.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, she
And
has.
of course, the executive session, the board took no action based on the issues that we heard. So, when an executive session, first number.
All right, oh, I threw my paper away. Do we have a motion
We're
to,
gonna recess
Recess
until
until-
Wednesday, August the 2nd.
at 10 a.m.?
Why are we doing that? Why don't we just adjourn? And the Monday, first Monday in August.
Well, we have board,
Right?
Well, first month,
we
I
have
mean,
budget
this is when Pam wanted to start the budget on, and we're still in the July term.
No, because the first meeting in August is August.
Yes,
7th.
the first meeting in August is not till the
So you
7th,
gotta
so we're gonna
adjourn
start our
till the
budget
2nd.
hearings,
On the first.
no, Wednesday,
The 2nd.
August 2nd.
In Biloxi, we recess.
My anniversary, thank y'all.
So motion to recess until August 2nd in Biloxi.
Yes,
10
ma'am.
a.m. in Biloxi to start budget hearings. Yeah, we'll just do like 10 to 2 every day till we get it done, right? 10 to 2, or do we go later?
No,
Wait, till whenever.
Okay,
yeah, and I guess
August
she's
10th.
scheduled August 2nd and 3rd.
Just so the board
August
knows,
2nd, is the motion.
Yeah.
on those fire permits, I was looking at them.
okay, wait, let's finish this. So August 2nd, we,
Third, that's what she has kind
The
of
second,
planned.
yeah,
on.
we're saying
Yes,
second.
but
okay,
recess is the
we have
motion.
a motion.
Yes, we have a motion,
Second.
second.
All those in favor say aye. All right, motion carries.
One last thing,